हरि ओम। 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 ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धेर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 नमः पार्वतीपतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम। हरि ओम। विशाल शांति मंत्र। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We shall chant the mantras, the first three mantras. Om Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha Kena prana prathama preti yuktaha Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti Chakshushrotram kaudevo yunakti Shrotrasya shrotram Manaso mano yata वाचोह वाचं सहु प्राणस्य प्राणः चक्षुषश्चक्षुः अतिमुच्यधीराः प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकाद् अमृता भवन्ति. न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनो न विद्मो न विजानीमो यथैतद् अनुशिष्यात् अन्यदेव तद्विदितात् अथो अविदितात् अधि इति शुश्रूमपूर्वेषाम् येनस्तद्व्यचचक्षिरे. So this Upanishad begins with a beautiful question by the student, that willed and directed by whom does the mind go to its respective objects? Also willed and directed by whom does the pranas and the senses, they do their respective functions? So the answer the teacher gives is Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyata. It is the ear of the ear, mind of the mind, speech of the speech, prana of the prana. It is indicated in this way because directly it cannot be pointed out, directly it cannot be defined. But with the help of this Shastra, when we contemplate, we are able to drop all our identification and gain abidance in this supreme reality. So atimuchya dhiraha pretyasmad lokat amruta bhavanti. The wise seeker, having given up all identification, gain that immortality. So why it cannot be directly pointed out? Because it is the very self of all these senses, mind, etc. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. The eyes cannot reach that reality. Na no na vag gacchati. Even the speech cannot talk about that supreme reality. No manaha. Even the mind cannot think about that supreme, because it is the very self of this senses, the mind. Therefore, the teacher, he says that na vidmo, na vijanimo, yatha etad anushishyat, that we don't know this Brahma and we don't know how to teach, how to indicate, how to give advice about this Brahma. Shankaracharya ji in his commentary, he writes, since this Brahma is tad agocharatvat na vidmaha. It is not something which we can see, hear, taste, touch, or in any way interact. So it is not something which is known. See, with our buddhi, with our senses, we know a lot, but whatever we know is the world only. That Brahma is not known. Therefore, the teacher says, Ataha na vijanimo yatha ena prakarena etad Brahma anushishyat. So we don't know how it can be conveyed. Because to convey some qualities, something is required. Here Shankaracharya ji writes कि उपदिशेत शिष्याय इति अभिप्रायः. It cannot be conveyed because यद हि करणगोचरं तद अन्यस्मै उपदेष्टुम शक्यम. That which is comprehensible by the senses can be conveyed to the Shishya. But this Brahma is beyond all this. जाति गुण क्रिया विशेषणैः न तद् जात्यादि विशेषण वद ब्रह्म तस्माद् विषमम् शिष्यानुपदेशेन प्रत्याययितुम् इति उपदेशे तद् अर्थग्रहणे च यत्नातिशयकर्तव्यतां दर्शयति. See, some object which has got some class, means there are many objects with different class, then it can be pointed out. That's called jati. Like human beings, animal, birds, plant, they are of different class. Or like Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi, different class are there. It can be pointed out. Or if a object has got some qualities, some color, some form, some taste, some quality if it is there, then it can be pointed out. Or if it does some function, if it has got some activity, kriya, then that object can be pointed out. See, this is not something strange. Even in the field of science, they sometimes they come to understand that there is something, but they just cannot point it out. Like nowadays, they talk about the dark matter. So from all their observations, they have understood that there must be some matter which is influencing the various galaxies, but they can't see this matter directly through any means, nor does they see this matter interacting directly with any objects. Or even when they talk about this black hole, the black hole cannot be seen directly through any of our equipments because black holes are so dense that even light cannot escape. So, in order to see something, at least the light should escape, but it cannot be seen. But indirectly, they come to know that there is this black hole at this place. So, that which doesn't have any class, that which doesn't have any qualities, that which doesn't have any of its own activity, cannot be pointed out with the help of our words, because such things do not become the object of our senses. So we cannot gain their knowledge through the sense perception. See, I had mentioned this before also, that in order to gain knowledge of anything, we require praman, means of knowing. So when we look at this world, we know this world, and to know this world, we have certain pramans. Those are called pratyaksha praman, anuman praman, upaman, and arthapatti. Through these four pramanas, we can know this world. But all these pramans are based on pratyaksha, on perception. So either we know something by directly perceiving it, or we can infer it through various techniques and come to know. But this Brahma, which is pointed out in this verse, in this mantra, which is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, is not an object of perception. Therefore, it cannot be what you call comprehended by our the senses. Therefore, it cannot be conveyed also to the student. Therefore, the teacher here says that we don't know how to convey. न विद्मो न विजानीमो यथा एतद् अनुशिष्यात् इति अत्यन्तम् एव उपदेश प्रकार प्रत्याख्याने प्राप्ते तद् अपवादो अयम् उच्यते. So does it mean that it can never be conveyed? It says no, it can be conveyed, and it can be conveyed only through Shastra Praman, only through the Upanishad Praman. Not by any other way we can understand it. We just cannot understand this Brahma, we cannot comprehend this Brahma through any other means. By any other means, we don't even know that such a thing exists. But through Shastra Praman, it can be comprehended. So satyam evam pratyakshadibihi pramanaihi na parapratyayaitum shakyah. So that Parabrahma cannot be pointed out through pratyaksha dibihi, through this direct perception or inference, etc. But agamena tu shakyata eva pratyayaitum iti tad upadeshartham agamam aha. But it can be conveyed through agama, through Shastra Praman. Therefore, here, in order to point this out, the teacher quotes from the Shastra. Though the whole mantra is a Shastra, but in a story form, the whole thing is conveyed. The student has approached the teacher, and the teacher conveys to the student that it cannot be indicated through any worldly means, but it can be understood only through Shastra Praman. So the following sentence is like a quotation of some mantra, Shastra Praman. What is that quotation? Anyadeva tad viditat athaha aviditat adhi iti. That Brahma is pointed out with this sentence. It is anyad eva viditat and aviditat adhi. What does it mean? That which is indicated as Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyata, that Brahma is different from the known. Vidit means that which is known, that which can be known through our perception, etc. So that Brahma is different from the known. And it is also different from that which is unknown. that which cannot be known. This has to be comprehended properly. Shankaracharya ji writes, कि अन्यदेव पृथगेव तद् यत् प्रकृतं श्रोत्रादीनां श्रोत्र अन्योपि श्रोत्रादि श्रोत्रादि इति उक्तम् अविषयश्च तेषाम्, that which is indicated as the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind is different from that which is known, all that which is known. What do we mean by all that which is known? Shankaracharya writes कि तद विदिताद अन्यदेव हि विदितम नाम यद विधिक्रियया अतिशयेन आप्तम विधिक्रिया कर्म भूतम क्वचित किंचित कस्यचित विदितम स्याद इति. Vidit means known. Known means which can be known by someone in some form which is known. See, known means doesn't mean that only I know, but anyone who can know it, then that becomes a known object only. See, many things are known by human beings, but there are certain things which are known by the devatas. There are certain things which are known by the animals, birds, plants. But all this falls under the domain of known. Even in the human world, we have acquired lots of knowledge about the world. But that doesn't mean some one person only knows everything. I know little bit, you know, the other person knows. So there are those objects which are known or which are knowable through our senses, through our mind, which can be known. So they are called vidit. So Brahma is not any of this object. Brahma cannot be known. So sarvam eva vyakrutam viditam eva tasmad anyadeva iti ityartha. So all that is modified, all that is created is all that is called vidit. We have seen in the Bhagavad Gita also that the whole world has come into manifestation from that Bhagwan's Prakriti. So, from that Avyakta Prakriti, everything comes into manifestation. The what you call the Mahat Tattva, Ahankar, Panchatan Matra, then from that the Pancha Mahabhut, then the Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Pranas. So all these are manifested, all these are vikar of that Prakriti, of Vyakta Prakriti. So all this falls under the category of known. They are called vidit, known. So Brahma is not any one of them. Brahma is not that which is known. Oh, so that means Brahma is that which is cannot be known, vidit. So the Shastra say no, it is different from that unknown also. So aviditam ajnatam tarhi iti prapta aha atho api aviditat vidita विपरीतात् अव्याकृत अविद्या लक्षणात् व्याकृत बीजात् अधि इति उपर्यर्थे. Here the Shastra say that it is different from the avidit. Avidit means unknown. And what is unknown? The cause of that, all that which is known. And what is the cause of all that which is known? That is avyakrita. Avyakrita prakriti it is called. The unmanifest prakriti. The unmanifest prakriti is the cause of this world. It is like the bija, it's like the seed. Just like in a tree, the seed is there, and from that seed only the entire tree comes into manifestation. So there is this manifested tree and there is this unmanifested seed. Similarly, for this world, there is the manifested world and there is the unmanifested world. That unmanifest world is called Avyakrita. It is also indicated as Avidya Lakshana Prakriti. Means it is Bhagwan's Prakriti only, but associated with Avidya of all the beings. Therefore, it's called Avidya Lakshana Prakriti. Or in Bhagavad Gita, it is also pointed out as Avidya Sanyuktam Avyaktam. Avyakta associated with Avidya. So that is called what we call avidit, means which cannot be known, which is unmanifest. So through any of our means, we don't know it. We can't know it. But that Brahma is different from this unknown also. So it is different from the known and different from this unknown. Like that, the Shastras indicate that Brahma. See, generally, if we have to use our own intelligence, we might say that if it is different from the known, it must be that unknown. But here the Shastra says that it is different from that unknown also. Unknown is the cause of this world, and known is the effect. But that Brahma is beyond both cause as well as effect, beyond both that which is unknown and that which is known. That is how the Shastra indicate that Brahma. Now let us read Shankaracharya's Bhashya, and the whole thing will become more clear, but we will just go according to this Bhashya to understand it. Yad viditam tad alpam martyam dukkhatmakam cha iti heyam. So all that is known through our senses, through our mind, known by anyone, known by any being, all that is known is limited. Alpam, martyam, it is perishable. It is that which gives sorrow, dukkhatmakam. Therefore, all that is known is heyam, is not something to be acquired, but to be dropped. It's called heya. It should be dropped, should not be acquired. So tasmat viditad anyad brahma iti ukte tu heyatvam uktam, aheyatvam uktam. So by saying that this Brahma is different from the known, it is conveyed that it is not something which has to be acquired. Means it all this what you call By saying that Brahma is different from that known, it is conveyed that Brahma is something which can be acquired, because all that is known is heya, is dropped, should not be acquired. So by saying that Brahma is different from this known, then Brahma can be acquired. But then again, the Shastra says that Brahma is different from the unknown also. Hmm? So by conveying these two things, by saying that Brahma is different from the known and different from the unknown, the Shastra indirectly conveys that Brahma is our own self. Hmm. एवं विदिता अविदिताभ्याम अन्यद इति हेय उपादेय प्रतिषेधेन स्व आत्मनः अन्यत्वात् ब्रह्म विषया जिज्ञासा शिष्यस्य निर्वर्तिता स्यात्. By conveying that Brahma is different from the known and unknown, it is pointing out, the Shastra is pointing out our own self. Okay. For example, suppose we say that something is known and something is unknown, and that truth is different from both the known as well as unknown. See, if we want to know something, so I am the knower of it. And even if something is not known, I am the one who doesn't know it. So I become a knower of something, and I am also the one who doesn't know. So both known and unknown is the subject is I. I am the one who doesn't know. I am the one who knows. So through this mantra, the Shastra is pointing out that Atma as Brahma. Okay, now let us think about it in a different way. Here the Shastra is pointing out our own supreme self. Hmm? So is that self known through our senses, through our mind? It is not known. We don't know it. The senses don't reach it. The eyes cannot see. The ears cannot hear the self. The mind cannot think about the self. So it is different from all that which is known. But does it mean that it is unknown? We can't say that it is unknown also. All of us, we know our own presence. We know our own existence. Nobody is there who says that I am not. Everyone knows their own existence. So this Atma is different from all that is known and is different from the unknown also. So in this way, in a very beautiful way, the Shastra is pointing out that Atma as Brahma. Shankaracharya ji quotes from other scripture also that he says कि ayam atma brahma. In Mandukya Upanishad also it is pointed out that this atma itself is Brahma. Yat sakshat aparokshat Brahma. This Brahma is sakshat aparoksha, that atma itself is Brahma. Like that in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also it is pointed out. Ya atma sarvantaraha. That which is present in all is that Atma, and that Atma itself is Brahma. So in this way, evam sarvatmanah sarva vishesha rahitasya chinmatra jyotishaha brahmatva pratipadakasya vakyarthasya acharya upadesha paramparaya praptatvam aha iti shushruma ityadi. So thus the teacher points out to the student that it cannot be conveyed through worldly means, but it is pointed out by the Shastra. And the Shastra points out by saying that it is different from the known and different from the unknown, it is pointing out the self itself, the innermost self. And about the innermost self, we can only say that it is something which is different from all that is known. But that doesn't mean it is unknown. It is different from the unknown also. It is Shushruma Purvesham. The teacher here points out that this is how we have heard about this from our teacher. This is how we have gained the knowledge of this Supreme Brahma from our teacher. Huh? So he is pointing out the importance of the Shastra Parampara. From our Acharya we have gained this knowledge. Our Acharya has gained from his Acharya. In this way, through Shastra Parampara, this knowledge has come to us. इति एवं शुश्रूम श्रुतवन्तः वयं पूर्वेषाम् आचार्याणां वचनम्. We have heard this from our previous acharyas, and from them we have gained the knowledge of this Supreme Self in this way. So, acharyaha naha asmabhyam brahma vachachakshire. Those who have given this knowledge to us, they have pointed out this Brahma in this way, as different from the known, different from the unknown, but our own self. So the Supreme Self itself is pointed out, which we experience in our deep sleep state, cut off from our body, cut off from our mind, our senses. We experience it. All of us, we experience our own self alone, free from the senses, the mind, and nothing can be said about that self. Though we experience it, though we are that self, we can't say anything about it. It's so mysterious. When we wake up and we have to think about that self which we experience in our deep sleep, what can we say? It doesn't have any color, it doesn't have any form, it doesn't have any taste. The mind was not there, the intellect was not present, but it is our own self. It is our own experience of our own self. When we wake up, the intellect interprets that experience in its own way. But it is beyond that intellect also. So one has to contemplate on this and come to drop all that which is known and all that which is unknown and shift one's attention to this Supreme Self, which is Brahma, which is that Supreme Brahma. So in this way, in a very subtle way, that Brahma as our Supreme Self is pointed out. Now in the following mantra, the Rishi again conveys that Brahma in so many different ways. So let us chant mantra number 4. Yad vacha anabhyuditam येन वाक् अभ्युद्यते येन वाक् अभ्युद्यते तदेव ब्रह्म त्वं विद्धि नेदं यदिदमुपासते. Once more. यद् वाचा अनभ्युदितं येन वाक् अभ्युद्यते तदेव ब्रह्म त्वं विद्धि नेदं यदिदमुपासते. The teacher tells that yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vak abhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam viddhi. Hey Shishya, you understand that as Brahma, which cannot be illumined by our speech. That which cannot be illumined by the speech, but that because of the which the speech speaks, which gives the capacity for the speech to express. That is Brahma. That is Brahma. Yesterday I read a very beautiful quotation. Somebody had posted it on, I think, Facebook, that the scientist and a religious person were speaking. So the religious person asked that scientist that how do you say that there is oxygen? What is the proof that there is oxygen? So the scientist said, you just hold your breath for some time, for a minute or a half a minute, and you will know what is breath, what is oxygen. Then the scientist asked the religious person, now you tell me, who is God? So that person said, you hold your breath for 5 more minutes and you can see God directly. So just a joke. But here what it means is that our speech has got the capacity to illumine, to express what we see, what we hear, what we have understood, we can express through our speech. It has got a tremendous power to illumine. Shankaracharya ji in detail he writes elaborately what are the speech, which is the alphabets are there through which we form words, through which we form sentences, and through these sentences we convey what we have experienced, what we know. And one of the most beautiful thing about human beings is that we have this speech, we have language, and through language we can convey a lot of things to others. Also, we can accumulate knowledge and store it and pass it on to other generation. So it's the most beautiful thing which we have, the ability to speak and to express. Even the most subtle thing can be expressed with the help of our speech. There are people who are so good in expressing. They write various books and novels and so many things. Even great philosophies are expressed through words. But however powerful and however subtle the words and the speech can be, it cannot define Brahma. It cannot talk about Brahma. It cannot indicate that Brahma. Because speech can talk about only those things which come under the experience of our senses, of our mind. That which is beyond this experience cannot be defined, cannot be conveyed, cannot be talked about. So even other things which we experience are also very difficult to convey. Certain experiences. For example, if you have to eat something, let us say you eat one apple and it's very sweet. Then you eat a banana, it is also sweet. But the taste of that apple is different from the taste of that banana. And both you have experienced. And if you want to convey this to someone, you will not be able to convey it. It's very difficult. So even lot of experiences are so difficult to convey. But that Brahma, which is beyond all experiences of the senses, the mind, cannot be conveyed at all. But the speech has got the ability to speak because of that Brahma only. Our speech gets the ability because it is powered, strengthened by our mind. But the mind itself gets illumined by that Brahma. Therefore, here in this mantra, the Rishi points out ki yad vacha anabhyuditam, that which cannot be expressed through speech, but ena vag abhyudyate, but by whom the speech speaks. Speech has got the ability to speak. Tadeva Brahma Tvam Vidhi. Oh, my dear student, understand that as Brahma. Understand that as Brahma. Shift your attention to this Brahma which is pointed out in this way. Drop all that is known and unknown regarding this world and contemplate on this Brahma. See, like for example, there are some objects which are far away, like a star is there in the sky. We can't directly touch that star, but with the help of various pointers, we pointed out to someone else. So one has to go follow the pointer. One has to look in the direction of the pointer to comprehend and to see that star. In the same way, here the Rishi is pointing out that Brahma, indicating it through these pointers. So one has to think in the direction of these pointers. So Tadeva Brahma Tvam Vidhi, that alone is Brahma. You understand that as Brahma. But I do upasana, I meditate on these devatas, I do different types of upasanas also. So the teacher tells ki nedam yadidam upasate. What you do as upasana is not Brahma. See, when we do some upasana, we do upasana of something which is known. The Shastras help us to do upasana, Hiranyagarbha upasana or Vaishvanara upasana. And this are pointed out with the help of words. They are known, but that Brahma is beyond this known also. Brahma is the very self of Hiranyagarbha. Brahma is the very self of Vaishvanara. But it doesn't mean that we should not do upasana. The upasana help us to tune our mind to that Brahma. Upasana help to purify our antakarana. But what we do, the upasana itself is not Brahma. Because upasana I keep some image, some idea in my mind. So in upasana there is that attitude of Dvaita is there. But that Brahma is not different from our own self. In Brahma there is no Dvaita. So it is not that which we worship. So Nedam Yadidam Upasate. You worship the Devtas, you worship even the Saguna Ishvara. We bring that image in our Antakarana, meditate on it, or we invoke the presence of Bhagwan in a Murti and we do Upasana. But in all these Upasanas, the one who is doing the Upasana and the object of our Upasana is different from us. So here the mantra is saying that which you are worshipping, that whom you are doing the upasana of, is not Brahma. Nedam yadidam upasate. So through neti, not this, not this, not this, in this way that Brahma is pointed out. It's so subtle and so very what you call difficult to comprehend. And the way is to drop all that is known and all that is unknown. Therefore, in the other scripture, it is pointed out कि त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमान ashuhu, that only through tyaga we will be able to attain that Brahma. By dropping all our identification, what remains is Brahma. By dropping all that is known and unknown, what remains is Brahma. So tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. I hope this is not becoming too complex. Let us see one more verse, one more mantra. The following mantras are similar, so same thing is pointed out. So let us chant mantra number 5. Yan manasa namanute येनाहुर्मनोमतं तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि नेदं यदिदमुपासते यन्मनसा न मनुते येनाहुर्मनोमतं तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि नेदं यदिदमुपासते. Says that yan manasa na manute ena ahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. You understand that as Brahma, O dear disciple, understand that as Brahma. Brahma is that which you have asked for. That what is that willed by whom does the mind function? Willed by whom does the senses function? It will become better, huh? Don't worry. What is pointed out here is for the highest seeker with the 100% qualification. The beauty of this Kenopanishad is it starts from the Mount Everest but then slowly it comes down to the base camp. So for all categories of student, the message is conveyed. But here it is now pointed out to the highest student with supreme qualification. So yan manasana manute yena ahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam viddhi. Understand that as Brahma, which cannot be thought of by the mind. Mind cannot think about it. Mind cannot comprehend it. Mind cannot think about it. But it is because of that Brahma only mind has got the capacity to think. That you understand as Brahma. See, let me give some example. Let us say somebody wants to know what is gold. Your friend or somebody who doesn't know about gold wants to know about gold, wants to know what is gold. So you show that person your earring and say, this is gold. Are you understood? Say yes. Then he goes to another person and ask her, what is gold? So she shows a bangle and says, this is gold. Then he asks another lady, what is gold? Then she shows the necklace and says, this is gold. So he gets thoroughly confused. He says, I am asking about gold, and one lady showed me earring, another showed me bangle, another showed me a necklace, and all of them are different, and still they say this is gold. So though the form is pointed out to this person, but what they want to convey is that which is expressing through that form. Gold expresses through that form, but gold is not the form. Gold is expressing through that form. Gold is not that form. In the same way, Brahma expresses through this world. Brahma expresses through everything. But the expression is not Brahma. Brahma is that which is expressing. So mind, our senses only know the expression. They don't know, they cannot know that which is expressing. So that is being pointed out here. Ki yan manasa na manute, the mind cannot think about it. But that which gives the power to that mind to think is Brahma. Tadeva Brahmatvam vidhi. Understand that as Brahma. And nedam yadidam upasate. And this which you worship, which you bring in some form, which you define, which you express through some qualities, is not Brahma. Nedam yadidam upasate. In order to do upasna, we have to bring it down to some form, some qualities, some activity which help us in upasana, but that is not Brahma. Nedam yadidam upasate. Here it doesn't mean that the mantra is uh, is criticizing upasana. Upasana is very important, but It is indicating that Brahma is even different from the object of Upasana. Brahma cannot be an object of knowledge. It is not an object of Upasana. It is not an object of Kriya. It is our own self. It is our own self. More about this we will see in our class tomorrow. Till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and just contemplate on these mantras. Try to see what is being pointed out here, and we shall meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.